Hi guys, welcome back to Geeks 40k channel. Tonight's battle, we are on a war-torn Outer Rim planet. Imperial Guard tank company has fallen to the realm of chaos and have started worshipping the chaos gods. The Iron Hands, the might of the Imperium, have been sent out by the High Lords of Terror to cleanse the planet. Who will be victorious? Will it be Robin and the might of the Imperium with his Iron Hands? Will they crush the Imperial Guard underneath their Space Marine boots? Or will it be John and his tank tracks of his battle company rolling over and crushing the Space Marines and putting way to the might of the Imperium on this outer world planet? Let's go take a look at the armies.
Okay, so here is my Iron Hands force for today. I'm actually running the Gladius Strike force for the first time. So my HQ is a captain. He is in Artificer armour. He has a Combi Flamer and a Power Fist. First troop choice is a 5-man tactical squad. Completely stock on the Sergeant. But there is a grav gun in that squad. Second troop's choice is another tactical squad. There's a melter gun in the squad, and the sergeant has a combi melter, and they are in a Razorback. Third troop's choice is another tactical squad, 5-man. The sergeant again is completely stock, and there is another melter in there. The first assault-based unit in the Demi Company is actually a bike squad. So we've got 2 melter guns. The sergeant has a power fist, and then the attack bike with multi-melter. Devastator slot, I've used the Centurion Devastators. Sergeant has Omniscope and missiles, and they all have the grav cannon, grav amps. The optional one I've taken is the Dreadnought. It's the Ironclad, Hurricane Bolters and Melter Gun. Then the formation I've taken to make it into the Gladius Strike Force is the Veteran Company one. So I have 5 Terminators. I'm using the Gorgon models, but these are just counted as normal Stormbolter Power Fist Terminators. I then have 5-man Stern Guard squad. What you see is what you get here. So there's 2 Combi Grav, 2 Combi Plasma, Combi Flamer on the Sergeant, and an Axe, and they are in a Razorback. And then the last squad in this formation is another Stern Guard squad. Sergeant hasn't actually got the power sword, he's just got the bolter. And then there's a combi flamer, a grav gun, and 2 bolters in that squad, and they're riding in a rhino. And to finish the army off, because I am against a lot of Imperial Guard tanks, and he's got a couple of super heavies in the list, I've got a Knight Errant, and he is just completely stock. So that's it. So I think it's a couple of points over 2,000. But that is the army.
Okay, HQ choices for the Imperial Guard. First of all, we've got a tank commander in a Leman Russ Vanquisher, and his wingman is another Vanquisher. We've got a las cannon on that one, and then we've got 3 heavy bolters, plus a storm bolter upgrade on the tank commander's vehicle itself. Then for troop choice, we've got a platoon led by a platoon commander with a plasma gun tucked in there. We've got commissar, and then we've got 3 squads that are all identical with 1 melt gun in each squad. Then my second troop choice is a veteran squad equipped with 3 melt guns, and they're riding around in a Chimera. Then in heavy support, we've got 2 extra Leman Russ. We've got 1 executioner, with heavy bolter sponsons and a las cannon up front. And we've got a demolisher with a las cannon up front and then plasma guns for sponsons, plus a heavy stubber for a little bit of extra firepower. Then for the real heavy element of the army, we've got MacLeod and Furnace, which is stock, and then we've got Baneblade with the extra las cannons and heavy bolters on the side, just again for a little bit of extra punch. So that is my 2K's worth of Imperial Guard.
Deployment for today, we are doing the Cleanse and Control Maelstrom of War mission. My deployment is over this side. We're doing the diagonal deployment, whichever that's called, I can never remember. The Iron Hands are deployed pretty much along the line here, all hiding in their transports, those that can. One tactical squad there, another tactical squad in this building with the Centurions, and the Knight is just hiding around that corner there. Obviously we've got a big Hellstorm template, which is AP3, which I'm quite scared of. Fortunately, I rolled to go first, so I get to choose to go first as well, which I'm going to do.
Right, Imperial Guard deployment. So over here we've got the veterans in the Chimera, supported by the Lehman Russ. Got our 2 Vanquishers, the HQ choices just there. Right down the middle there we've got the MacLeod. Got 2 squads tucked in, hovering around this objective. Baneblade right here, staring down at the Knight just opposite. And we've got another 2 squads. Well, we've got the platoon command squad and 1 squad over here, plus the commissar. And Limerus Demolisher right in the centre there. Just show you where the objectives are as well. So you've seen a couple already. There's one right there. One in that building there. There's one in the centre of the battlefield. We've got one on the ammo dump in this corner. One tucked in behind the building over there. And then there's one conveniently located right on the top of that building.
The objectives I've pulled out are Secure Objective 1, Secure Objective 2 and Supremacy. Objective 1 is in between a load of Imperial Guard tanks, so that's not going to get done. Secure Objective 2 is in front of a couple of my Razorbacks, so that should be pretty doable. And Supremacy, yeah, I'm not going to do that this turn. So on to my movement. The Razorback with the Tactical Marines in has gone 12 inches and is now securing Objective 2, so I have scored that one. The tactical squad that were in this little bunker have just popped out, trying to get close to some of those tanks, but not too close. The Razorback has moved up 6 inches into the ruin, so it'll have some cover saves from the relentless fire that it's about to take, as has the Ironclad Dreadnought, and need to get that close to these guys over here. Nice power fist attacks, rip those squadrons up, hopefully. This Razorback has just tentatively gone round the corner. I might be in range of some of those guard down there. They will probably get cover saves, but I'm not sure if they're in range. I'll have to check that. Centurions have just stayed still. Not really sure who I'm going to target them at. I think they're probably just about out of range of a majority of things, but I didn't really want to move away from this building because they're going to get a pounding in the next turn. The Knight has moved up, it's 12. Has a nice cluster of tanks here. Might be able to get a lucky hit on something. I can't really miss, to be honest with you, with the amount of armour that's there. If I do, you're sacked, mate. Okay, so quite a successful round of shooting there. The Ironclad shot his melter into the Chimera here. Killed it, even though he wasn't in melter range, managed to pop it and killed 4 in the explosion. The Razorback next to it then shot into that squad and killed another one. They're not pinned. They do need to take a break check though, John. So if you can do that for me, that would be great. This Razorback shot into the guys there, killing 2 of them. This Razorback was snap firing because it moved 12, so missed everything. Unfortunately, the Centurions were about an inch short range on that guy over there, so didn't manage to shoot anything. So that was a bit stupid by me. Should have moved them, but whatever. Bit better news with the Knight. He shot at these guys. I put the template on that so it hit the Baneblade and the big flame cannon of death. Scattered 1 inch, and it scattered that way. So I hit the Demolisher and the Malcador. Didn't penetrate the armour of the Demolisher, but I did on the Malcador, and then got an explodes result, so stripped off 2 hull points with that one shot, so that was quite good. Other small arms fire was into this squad. I think they lost 3 in total. Oh, actually, the Snapfire and Razorback shot into that building. You could just see one guy killed it, and it was the melter gun, so that was quite useful. So that's it. At the end of my turn, I have secured objective 2, and I'm probably going to scrap objective 1 or supremacy. Probably objective 1 I'll get rid of.
The Malcadors move forward. Baneblade has basically stayed put. Vanquisher's moved slightly forward in order to get a better shot on the Knight, just over there. These guys have made a move forward, and the Lehman Russ has also repositioned just a couple of inches. Guys down here have just reshuffled around just to maintain cover. Same with these guys, just moving around, getting into cover. This squad over here is making a little break and using the building for cover. And my Demolishers moved forward as well. So a bit of a mixed bag. Basically everything down this side of the board has fired at the Knight, and we've only managed to take 1 hull point off it. Plenty of hitting, but unfortunately the shields on it seem to be holding up very well.
Oh yeah.
So wasted a lot of shots there for nothing.
You missed a lot as well, to be fair.
Well, there was a few misses. It wasn't all great. It wasn't good news. However, over this side of the board is a bit of better news. So the Vanquisher cannon down here took out the Razorback that was parked up just there, and the troops that spilled out of it were mostly destroyed by a ball of plasma from down here. But then my Malcador Infernus opened up with its Flamestorm cannon and took out the remaining 2 guys from there, plus basically the remnants of the squad that were over there. So 4 Marines dead, 1 broken and running away like a little girl.
How dare you.
So yeah, that's a pretty good round of shooting. So good news on the tactical objective front. I've got secure objective 5 and secure objective 3. So securing objective 5 down here has bagged me a point, which is good news. Objective 3 is all the way up there, so no chance of that. And I'm likely to be discarding Supremacy at the end of this turn.
My objectives, I held on to Supremacy. I've pulled out Secure Objective 3, which my Centurions are sitting on, and Secure Objective 6, which is at the back of the battlefield in my corner. So that was quite useful. Okay, so the Razorback and the Ironclad Dreadnought moved out of the ruins there. Nobody's managed to immobilise themselves yet, which is always nice. So yeah, they've moved up there. The Razorback with the captain in has moved forward 6 inches. Just trying to get closer to their lines, but don't really want to jump out yet because there's a nasty flamer which I experienced last turn. Not very good. Sergeant of this squad has shuffled round, but the grav gun has stayed still. He is actually within range of the Demolisher, so hopefully I might immobilise it or strip some hull points off or do something. The Knight has got a good move through its cover, actually moved its full distance, so it's 12 inches there. It's within about 5 inches or so of the Baneblade, so hopefully I'll pop it this turn, or at least do a lot of damage to it. My Terminators did come on in my traditional fashion of deep strike mishaps. I tried to deep strike them here because I didn't really want to sit in front of a gun line, and I thought reasonably safe, you know, 7-inch scatter all round there, they'd be pretty safe. But no, I rolled an 11, so they scattered into Richard's next door neighbour's living room.
Which she really appreciated.
Yeah, she then returned the models round, and John then decided to stick them over here, which I thought was really nice. You know, new models.
Not a problem.
New models. Thought, you know, it'd be nice to get their weapons a bit bloody. But it looks like they're gonna be doing the Lord of the Rings. They're just gonna be walking the entire battlefield until right at the end something will happen, maybe. So yeah, that's it for my movement. So on to my shooting. Let's go and blow up all John's tanks. Quite a successful round of shooting. These two guys here shot into the Demolisher. I did actually score 2 immobilised results on it. However, he is sitting in cover. He managed to get a cover save. So stripped off a hull point, but it is immobilised. The Knight shot into the Baneblade, did penetrate it, but only scored 1 hull point on that. The Grav Centurions, I know it's a bit cheesy, but I shot Grav into that super heavy and stripped off another 2 hull points. He did get cover saves again, that did end up saving him. So that's down to 2. Shot the missile in as well, but that just bounced off the armour. This Razorback, because of the way I've positioned that, they couldn't get line of sight on those guys over there. But this one did, and killed 1 guy there. The Ironclad shot his melter at the Demolisher, but unfortunately it bounced off his front armour. He's just outside of melter range. Run moves. This guy ran to secure objective 6, and the guys at Deep Striked only got a 3-inch run. So yeah, they're just there basically. That's it. So on to the main event, I guess, assault. So let's see how that goes. Hopefully I'll get in. Right, so that was a reasonably successful assault phase. The Ironclad got in, despite the fact that he rolled 5 attacks. He rolled 4 2s, a 1 and a 6, so only hit once, but it was enough to blow up the Demolisher there, so that was good. Over here, the Knight scored 3 hits, rolled on the D table and took off, I think it was 4 hull points there, so that's down to 4 in total now. I could have done with killing that, to be honest, but you know, I'll take it. So that's it. No more assaults this turn, and it is on to Astra Militarum, or Imperial Guard. Right, so at the end of turn 2, these are my objectives. I scored objective 6. I scored objective 3. I could have scored supremacy, but it would have meant the Knight sitting on an objective, so I decided I'd run and attack the Baneblade. So yeah, I might dump that depending on what John does in the next turn. So yeah, that's it. On to Astra Militarum turn
Imperial
2.
Guard! These guys have run, and they're getting pretty close to the objective down there now, which is good. Tanks have just shuffled back a little bit worried about what that Ironclad can get up to, so moving that one well out of the way. Very small shuffle back with the Malcador Infernus. Small shuffle back with the Baneblade as far as possible. These guys down here just making their way away from the Knight, as are these guys down here just making their way towards the objectives that are further down the board. In terms of objectives, I've pulled these cards out now. So Hungry for Glory, Secure Objective 1 and Secure Objective 2. Looks pretty good to me because Objective 1 is right there. So that's in the bag. And then our Objective 2 is in the centre there, so not really a lot of chance for that one. But there we go, that's what I've drawn. Well, the first headline bit of news, you'll notice there is still a knight right in the middle there, which is not good.
It is for me.
It is. So I took the danger shot with the Baneblade, as demonstrated by my glamorous assistant here.
Very glamorous.
Somehow managed to roll a hit and not catch anything else, which was epic.
If it scattered anything, it would have been on either of those or that.
But you got to do it. So I tried it, and I did manage to take a whole point down from that, but the Demolisher Cannon didn't do any damage, and neither did the one last cannon that struck home. Somehow, this guy, who has got nothing but knight in his gun sights, still managed to miss. So he's getting a P45 in the morning.
He sucks!
He does suck. Okay, down here, we've got a little bit of shooting from the Vanquishers. Not very exciting either. One whole point taken down on a Razorback, which isn't fantastic. My Malcador Furnace was a little bit short of suitable targets. I was hoping to crack the Razorback open and then toast the contents. Didn't work out that way, so I put my shot up here at the Centurions. Obviously with Armour 2, that didn't work out very well. They're still there. Did manage to toast one guy on the ground down here, so it's not a complete dead loss. But that's my shooting. Not a lot to report.
Basically, if you look at John's shooting, there's nothing damaged on the board. However, the next door neighbour's living room is in tatters.
Can you leave my next door neighbour alone, please?
Yeah, sorry, we'll send some chocolates around or something. Our bad. Secure objective 5, got that last turn, so that's good news. Up here, I've managed to now also secure objective number 1, which is right down there. So there's another victory point to add to the pot.
Right, so in this movement phase, the Terminators that were put miles back on the table have just done their run move as well, so they've moved up 9 inches. They're not going to get into this battle, to be honest with you. The guy that was sitting on that objective has just jumped up onto the balcony. Centurions in this building have just shuffled around a bit. One of them has popped out of the cover so he can see the front of that big flamer dude. The 2 Razorbacks have sped up 12 inches. I don't really want to get the guys out because, yeah, flame of death as soon as they do. My reserves have come on. Because it was the diagonal deployment, I brought them on from here, moved them up 12 inches there, and they're all within melter range of that guy. So, bye! Knight, I've stayed still because I want to try and get a melter shot on that maybe first. And then kind of give me some options, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I should have moved it, but no, he's staying there now. That's basically it for my movement. So, oh, and the Ironclad has moved to that squadron. So let's see if I can pop 2 tanks with 1 ready. Yay! Okay, so that was reasonably successful shooting. The Centurions here shot forward into this guy. Obviously, he was getting a lot of cover saves. Did manage to get about through, I think it was 3 or 4 sixes. 3 sixes, but he saved 2. So it's down to 1 whole point, so it's barely there. The Knight shot, didn't scatter, penetrated, rolled a 1, so he's down to 3 whole points. The bikes came on, they all hit, they all penned, but he managed to get, it's just about 25% cover. So I let him take the cover save on that, and he saved them all, so I wish I hadn't let him, but hey.
Be nice.
Grav gun, again, shot into that guy, saved them all. So this guy, despite being immobilised and whiffing all of his shots, he's tanking a lot. Nothing else really happened. This guy was snap firing, so missed all of those. That couldn't really shoot anything because he's got a lot of armour in front of him. So just want to kill that. Then the guys inside there can do something. Dreadnought. Shot into it with his melter. Penetrated?
No, it didn't.
No, rolled snake eyes. Yeah, that was it. Rolled a snake eyes. So, yeah, he's not penetrated, but hopefully those guys will die in close combat anyway. So that's it for the shooting. All the run moves were done. I showed you those before. Did those in the movement. So yeah, we're on to assault now, so hopefully dead and warlord, maybe.
Yes, maybe.
Let's have a look what happens. Right, so the assault phase has gone very well. This guy is definitely trying to get the MVP award for this game. He's charged into the warlord's tank in a squadron. He scored all 5 hits. All 5 of those hits penetrated, and he rolled a lot of 5 and 6s. So yeah, it exploded. Then that one exploded, and the explosion killed one of these guys over here. So that was very nice. So well done, that guy. Over here, nothing really happened here, did it? Oh.
No, there is something missing if you look really closely.
Oh yeah. Yeah, something did happen there. Yeah, the Bane blade inevitably got smashed to pieces with the Reaper chainsword. It didn't scatter. The explosion just sort of stayed where it was. It did blow up in the knight's face, but didn't do any damage to it. So the Imperial Guard are looking fairly depleted now. There's still a demolisher cannon pointing at his ass, but there might be a shield facing that way, just to irritate. There's some melted bikes. There's, just basically swarming in. He's still got a lot of troops on the board, which could potentially clog this guy up. Surprised he hasn't done it already. I've just told him to do it, so hopefully he'll listen to me. Right, so my tactical objectives at the end of turn 3. Thanks to John placing my Terminators deep in my own half, I've actually scored hold the line because I have this guy, these guys, and the Centurions.
Oh, the irony.
The irony there. The Centurions all in my deployment zone, so I've got hold the line. I've also got behind enemy lines because the Dreadnought over there is within 12 inches of his table edge. Secure objective 5. No, I haven't got that one. So yeah, I'll try and get that next turn. The bikes are pretty close if they survive this round of shooting, which I'm inevitably going to face.
So these guys have moved up to counter the bikes. That can't move. That's shuffled forward just a little bit. It's going to go out in a blaze of glory. These guys will stay put. They're waiting patiently for their turn to die. There's no point in dying tired, right? So they're going to just stay put. Oh, down here. I almost forgot to move these guys. So those guys are going to move on to that objective in just a second. And that's the end of Imperial Guard movement. So the Malcador Infernus decided to drop its template over there. It's taken out 4 out of 5 bikes, Rob?
No, 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4 bikes. Then for the remainder of the shooting, this little squad down here has had a little go in there, trying to kill bikers. That squad over there took out the one little guy on his own. Oh no, that was the scatter from the demolisher cannon over there. Scattered onto the poor little lone guy, took him out. The las cannons and the plasma guns have failed to do anything at all. Story of the day, really. So we've still got 1 biker left. And that's as much shooting as I can bring, so...
Assault phase, John?
Assault phase? No, I don't want to go to assault because I mostly can't. Okay, so quick update on the tactical deck. I've got secure objective 3, which is right on top of that building. Not much chance of that. Secure objective 2, which is right in the middle of the battlefield. Again, not a lot of hope for that. And then I've also got assassinate, which is one of the reasons why I was pummeling away at the bike squad, because typically the one who survived, if I'd taken him down, he's a character that would have scored me a point, but he lives to fight another day. So yeah. That is the end of my shooting.
Okay, so at the start of my movement phase, or operation mop up the rest of the guard, as I like to call it, the Razorback with my captain in has moved up 6 inches, pivoted. They've got out the side door. A couple of combi flamers in there. Hopefully that squad will get annihilated there. The knight has just come up to say hello to the immobilized demolisher, so that will be 4 automatic hits to the rear. Well, demolisher hits, destroyer hits anyway, so that'll be nice for that. Ironclad Dreadnought is within 1 inch of charging that guy with 1 hull point. The Razorback over here has moved up 6. Stern Guard have got out the back and are looking at firing a lot of shots into that squad there. I've done my run moves already, so they actually scored a 6 for their run move, so they've moved up 12 inches. So if there's anything left and we decide to carry on to turn 5, they might at least be able to do something. Shoot those Imperial Guard on that objective there. Didn't even bother moving these, to be honest with you. The arrogance. So yeah, on to shooting. Let's see what's alive at the end of this. I promise that I'll try and stifle a laugh at the end of it. This hasn't gone well for John. Looking at his list at the start, I was quite worried, but then looking at his dice every time he shot something, I wasn't so worried. So it's a good job that automatically hits with that template. Otherwise, this could be a lot worse. Okay, so the shooting over here, the Razorback and the Stern Guard shot into those 2 squads there. There was Combi Flamer popped, Grav, and then some Hellfire rounds. Managed to get quite a few cover saves, but I think there was 5 taken off in total.
Yeah, 1 from one squad and 4 from the other.
Okay, so the one which took 4 casualties has actually passed the morale on a 7. Just decided not to shoot that because one of my tactical objectives is to charge into combat. I think it's for the Emperor, so he's going to get charge off there. Didn't shoot with the Knight because I want to charge into him. And then the bike, which I don't think I mentioned in the movement phase, he's moved up for these guys. He did shoot at them, but because he jinked, didn't end up hitting anybody. So he's going to go and smash him in the face with a power fist. Down here, popped 2 Combi Flamers. Everything died. So that was it. Didn't really have anything else in range or want to shoot anything else. Right, so my assault phase, the sergeant over here tried to charge in but took a plasma to the face in Overwatch. It did actually overheat though as well. It was in rapid fire range, but he did actually manage to get a 5-up save on himself, and then I failed the jink and the feel no pain, so sergeant failed there. The Knight, yeah, obviously just completely destroyed the demolisher. I actually rolled 3 6s on the destroyer table, so that was at least 18 hull points as a minimum off that guy. So that would have been nicer if I'd got that roll earlier in the battle on the Baneblade, but you know, I'll take it. The Dreddy obviously went into the Malcador and ripped the last remaining hull point off that. Nothing else could charge, so I have scored in the end of the turn, and this will be the end of the battle because he's got a couple of squads of infantry which are surrounded by knights and flamers and stern guard and everything. So yeah, John, and I don't blame him, has decided to call it. So in this turn I scored for the Emperor, which was get a charge off, get D3 if you get 3 charges. So I only managed 2 because obviously the sergeant failed. Lightning Strikes was completely destroy something in his deployment zone, and the Malcador was still in his deployment zone because of the diagonal table. So I've scored those 2. Plus line breaking over there. So that's 3, and then I've got 7, 5 cards, 1 for Warlord and 1 for First Blood. John has got 2 victory points, so that is the end of the battle, and that is 10-2. I hope you enjoyed it. A little bit one-sided, but as I said earlier, the dice really weren't with John today, so it probably wasn't a fair representation of what he could have done. It was quite a nasty looking list, lots of armour, 14 to face down, but dice were probably quite lucky for me and very unlucky for John. So yeah, that's it, 10-2 at the end. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, remember to hit that like button. If you haven't already done so, subscribe, would really appreciate that. And we'll see you in the next one.